Yo, 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 what's up? What's up? Here we are at the hot seat. We are at Declaration of War at 1720 Warehouse out here in Los Angeles again. And here we are, no other than Misfits.
What's up, guys? How are you doing? I just had a fucking great set. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Let's get this interview cracking.
Hey, that shit was sick. Honestly, I can't. Out of probably like the 3 sets I've seen right now, yours probably had the most energy, to be honest. Like, dead ass, like, no cap.
Thank you. I was actually trying really, really hard, especially because, being a female in the industry, like some people might look at you a different way or, they might not take you seriously because, you're a female and we just have to deal with that. But, I put that aside. I don't even like mind that at all. I'm just like, you know what? I'm going to take advantage of being the only female on this lineup. I'm going to go out there. I'm going to kill it. I'm going to play like the best that I could play my heart out. And, I hope they fucking bring it too because I brought my shit. So.
Oh, yeah, you brought that shit. But, I mean, not to get into too deep, but this caught my interest what you just said. Do you feel some kind of like backlash or how can I say like separation because you are a female in the scene?
Before, like in different industry that I was working with, you could definitely feel like, the sexism a little bit and, like there might be like favoritism as well. But ever since I've been working with the Army of Hardcore and I left that previous industry, I'm not going to say their name just because I don't believe in bashing people, but after I left that industry and then I started working with Army of Hardcore, working with Odyssey and stuff like that, I have felt zero, like separation. I mean, if anything, I felt more respect and kind of more recognition too, just because I think it's kind of interesting being like female in the hardcore industry because there's not as many as us as there are men. So I feel that Army of Hardcore kind of noticed that and took it upon themselves to be like, okay, well, we want her like to shine up with these guys. And so I have nothing but high respects for them and Odyssey because I feel that, they took away that separation and they decided to make it like a collaboration, bringing people together. And that's what our community is about, right? So
Exactly.
yeah, as far as the separation or anything like that, I feel like if you're in the right industry and you're working with the right people, you will never feel left out or judged or anything like that. And that's all I feel right now is just happiness and unity. So
That's awesome. Well, it's good to see that. I've never really heard the other side, of course, from the women's perspective. But, I mean, it's good to see that at least with Army of Hardcore and Odyssey Productions, I mean, they support the scene no matter what. They support hardcore more than anything, you know what I mean? So, I mean, having you, I mean, hands down, the queen of California hardcore, there's no one out here repping that shit but you. You get me? So that shit's awesome, more than anything. Just to jump off of that, let's go to 2019. What was the... Yeah, exactly. Last decade. So, yeah, going back to 2019, we probably did this in the last interview we did with you, but now that we're in 2020, you probably had a couple weeks to really think about what's happened in your life in the past year. And what would you say is the best highlight of 2019?
So 2019, I would say one of the best highlights, I'm not even gonna lie, is that closing song to Army of Hardcore. Like sometimes I'll just literally like think back on that. I'm like, dude, like ever since then my life has just like felt like a movie. Like I look back on those videos and I just see how much fun I'm having. I see like the crowd enjoying themselves, and then every day like I think about it and it actually pushes me and inspires me to make this next 10 years top that. Like that to be just like one sliver of a moment in comparison to these next 10 years. So I would say that's probably like one of my favorite highlights of that. And then, that was my last show of 2019. And then I just recently saw videos from the era of chaos that we did. And that was the beginning of 2019. And, I can honestly happy say that my energy from the beginning of the year to the end of the year was, if not the same, it's increased and it got harder. And I'm just excited to even bring that harder and more impactful in my music, especially because I'm working on a track. I know I keep saying this, but I am really trying to get this track out. I'm done with school now, so my focus is just on music. And this track, I want to say it's about like a third of the way done. I'm actually gonna work on like a sample to send out to like you guys and a few other artists as well, just because I've been saying I've been working on a track, so I want you guys to believe me.
No, we believe you. I mean, your brother over there, Chaotic, kind of told us a little bit. He's like he's really proud of what you're coming up with. You know, so I mean, it's good to hear that you're working. I mean, we're not judging you. We're quite at the contrary. We want to support you. You know what I mean? So we're not gonna send no negativity your way, no shade your way because of that. You know, I know you said it before in the interviews, but it's all a work in progress. You know what I mean? We went through a long time of not doing the podcast and doing all that, but I mean, we're back at it again. You know, it's never too late to start again, and as long as you're consistent with what you're doing, I best believe you're gonna achieve something with it. You know.
I definitely agree with you, and like I really wanted to have a track out for this show just to show you guys like a little like sample of Misfits, like, and this track that I'm working on, I feel like it just embellishes like who I am, and it just shows what I stand for in the music industry. And so I really wanted to get it out, but like the track say it's like 70% done. Like you guys deserve, you know, a track that's 100% done because you guys put your heart into it. I put my heart in it. So if I give you a track that isn't finished, I feel like, you know, I'm cheating you guys, and you know, nobody deserves that. And sometimes it's good for someone to be like, hey, didn't you say you were gonna release a track soon? Like, you know, like a little honest like push and stuff like that. Because like I said earlier, we're all a community. You know, we should all unite and help each other grow to achieve this dream and stuff. So when I see you guys, I'm like, all right, you know what? Next time I see them, try to get that track out. Like I make a personal goal for myself, and that's the beauty of working with you guys, is that, you know, we push each other without even knowing it.
I definitely feel that because I mean, doing the interviews and everything, I want to start setting up like an actual studio, and that's just in the back of my head. I'm just like, I gotta get that going so I could get you in, have a podcast with you for an hour or two, maybe throw some music in there, just kick it, drink a couple beers, hang out after that. You know what I mean? That's the dream for me. But I mean, interviewing you guys, interviewing like headlining DJs, like that motivates me to try to get my studio going, to try to get this to a better production, even though it's all grimy right now, but it's all in a work in progress, you know?
Well, even like the more acts you guys get to interview, you know, the bigger the names, it honestly makes me feel like I'm growing too, because we're doing these interviews, you know, you're doing it with me at these same shows and stuff like that. So like I'm getting on these bigger lineups, you guys are getting these bigger acts, these bigger interviews, like we're all growing, and it honestly makes me feel like, oh shit, they just interviewed like Bloodlust, like what? Like, oh my god, like, you know, it makes me fangirl like just being around you guys, because you're around this talent as well. And so I just think it's really important in like this industry to grow with one another than to like put each other down. And that's why I've never really felt any like separatism or, you know, anything like that since I've switched industries. And it's honestly just motivated me to work even harder to make other people feel that and see it too. Like that's why I fell in love with hardstyle and hard dance, right? So
yeah, pretty much. It's always open and loving. So I mean, don't mind me. I'm gonna be looking on my phone real quick. I gotta pull out a picture. But just answer this question real quick because I don't want to take too much of your time away anymore. What are your goals for 2020?
So I'm gonna get this track out. I definitely want to try to get more shows in as well, but I have one track that's almost done and another track that I just started. So my goals are to not necessarily have a set in stone goal, but just to shoot for the highest, aim for the highest. Like if I could get a headlining spot of Masters, like shit, that's gonna be my goal, you know? Like I might not hit it this year, might not hit it next year, but I'm gonna hit that spot. And so like my goals are just to try my best every single day and to push myself to achieve whatever that dream would be. So I don't really have any set in stone goals because I figure it's just easier to shoot for the stars, you know?
Fuck yeah, I feel you on that shit. I feel you on that. All right, just last thing to close off this insane interview. Here you go. I'm gonna show you a picture of what I dug up.
God, I look at that picture all the fucking time. Like that's like one of the pictures I look at all the fucking time. Like honestly, like.
So describe this picture for me real quick. Where we're at, what are you doing, who you're with, when was this?
That was the beginning of 2018. That was one of my first shows. Like that was the first time I've ever performed in front of anybody. I was so nervous. I was playing like 3 or 4 tracks. Like it was not even like a whole set. And I was just super excited. So I was like, you know, I'm gonna bring it. I opened up with like a Tupac song, like California Love. I was like, you know, I gotta represent with who I am. So I feel like that crazy little kid right there, like that's still who I am, you know, representing who I am. Like the music I played tonight were the tracks I grew up on, and so I just feel like the only difference is she's got bigger goals and a bigger crowd and bigger bass. So let's bring it.
Oh yeah, it's pretty dope. I like how Chaotic comes out. It's like you guys pretty much came together in the industry and are growing together. Look at you guys now. Like you're over here, moving up the slots in the Army of Hardcore, and then he's over there getting Gammer and Kid dropping his tracks on a big ass scale event. So it's insane.
Yeah, I was telling him too that like we are both like working towards the same goal, but we're doing different milestones, and that's something to be ashamed about or to be envious about, but that's something to be beautiful and be proud about. And I feel that we both have that pride for each other to where it's like there's never any envious. And actually, I'll always be thankful for Chaotic from day one. I don't know if I've told you guys this, but when I first started DJing, it was after Escape 2017, and I was like, hey, can you make me this mix? And he's like, no. I was like, please? Like, can you make me this track? He's like, no, do it yourself. I'll teach you. I was like, fine then. And then a couple months later, we got our first show, and, we've just been doing it ever since. And I honestly feel like, we might be like the California version of like Miss Kate and Angerfist, or, Mad Dog and Anime, or, Party Razor and Bulletproof. Like if you look at every big duo, there's a male and a female dominating in both areas. So why can't we be America's, right?
Hey, I could vouch for that. I'll vote for that. Definitely. I'm pretty sure he can too. But any last words?
Thank you guys so much for coming out and watching my set. Like, I have so much support and respect for you guys, and I really do love that you guys were out there. I love doing these interviews with you guys, seeing the growth between us both. And next week I'll send you a sample of that track.
Oh yeah, so here we go. I'm Suave, you got Kimo in the back, and we have no other than Missfits. Peace.